Welcome to User Manual for Excise Tax Deregistration. This manual is prepared to help a taxpayer navigate through the Federal Tax Authority e-Mara tax portal and submit their excise tax deregistration application. An excise registrant shall apply to deregister from excise tax. You can log in into the e-Mara tax account using your login credentials or using UAE Pass. If you do not have an e-Mara tax account, you can sign up for an account by clicking the Sign Up button. If you have forgotten your password, you can use the Forgot Password feature to reset your password. If you log in via your registered email and password, on successful login, the e-Mara Tax online user dashboard will be displayed. If you had opted for two-factor authentication, you will be required to enter the OTP received in your registered email and mobile number to successfully log in. If you wish to log in via UAE Pass, you will be redirected to UAE Pass. On successful UAE Pass login, you will be redirected back to the e-Mara Tax online user dashboard. On successful login, the taxable person list screen is displayed. It displays the list of the taxable person linked to your e-Mara Tax user profile. If there are no taxable person linked to your user profile, this list will be empty and you would need to create a taxable person. To create a new taxable person, enter the mandatory details and click Create. The new taxable person will be displayed in the list. Select the taxable person from the list and click View to open the dashboard. To initiate the deregistration application, click Actions on the Excise tile. And select Deregister. Click Edit/Review if you want to modify your bank details before proceeding with the deregistration application. Click Proceed to Deregistration if you want to proceed directly to the excise deregistration application. The Guidelines and Instructions page is designed to help you understand certain important requirements relating to excise deregistration in the UAE. It also provides guidance on what information you should have in hand when you are completing the excise deregistration application. A screen will appear with guidelines and instructions. Read the guidelines and instructions for excise tax deregistration and mark the checkbox to confirm. Click Start to initiate the excise tax deregistration application. Select the basis on which you are deregistering from excise tax. Based on the basis of deregistration selected, you need to select the sub-reason for deregistration, available from the list. You are also required to provide accurate explanations for the reason for deregistration in the text field provided. Upload the mandatory documents supporting the information entered. Excise tax registration details are pre-populated in the deregistration application. The application is divided into a number of short sections which deal with various aspects of the deregistration process. The progress bar displays the number of sections required to complete the application. The section you are currently in is highlighted as blue. Once you progress to the next section successfully, the previous section will be highlighted as green. In order to move from one section to the next, all mandatory fields of the current section must be entered. The fields which are optional are marked as optional next to the field name. You are requested to ensure that the documents submitted supports the information entered by you in the application. This would help to avoid any rejection or resubmission of the application later. The date from which the taxable person is required or eligible to deregister depends on the basis of the deregistration. Enter the eligible date for deregistration. The effective deregistration date is auto-populated by the system based on the eligible date of deregistration you have selected. You can change the effective deregistration date, if required, and provide the reason for the same. Click Next Step to proceed to the Authorized Signatory section. Review the authorized signatory details. Click Next Step to save and proceed to Review section. After carefully reviewing all of the information entered on the application, mark the checkbox to declare the correctness of the information provided in the application. This section highlights all the details entered by you across the application. You are requested to review and submit the application formally. Click Submit to submit the application. Click Yes to continue to submit the application. After your application is submitted successfully, a reference number is generated for your submitted application. Note this reference number for future communication with FTA. What's next? Once the deregistration application is submitted, the FTA shall approve or reject the request and notify the registrant accordingly. Further, the FTA may ask to provide additional supporting documents. You may check your application status in the dashboard from time to time. Once the FTA confirms acceptance of your deregistration application form, you will be notified of the pre-approval. You may also be required to submit a final tax return which will be generated by the e-Mara tax. You will receive an email and an SMS notification informing you of the status of the application and requesting to complete the payment of the outstanding liabilities. Depending on your account balance status, you may be required, or entitled, for tax payment, or refund. Please note, you will not be deregistered unless you've paid all tax and administrative penalties due and filed all tax returns including any outstanding returns as well as the final tax return. In case you have credit amount with the FTA, you are required to initiate the refund process on FTA e-Mara tax. After submission, taxpayer receives the following correspondences. Application submission acknowledgement. Additional information notification, only if FTA requires more information to assist with their review of your application. Application pre-approval or rejection notification. Thank you.